Hi there, welcome everybody to the chat. Join the panel if you want to. Smash that like button immediately. I got a mug, so thank you, whoever sent this. Mukbang of all mukbangs, it says Foodie Beauty, mukbang of all mukbangs. Lovely mug. Looks beautiful, awesome, so thank you. Appreciate it. So, where did Foodie Beauty disappear to? She hasn't been on in hours and hours and hours and hours. And allegedly or supposedly, Nader El Shami had a PO appointment of some sorts. So, does this line up as if they met up? It's highly possible. She finished streaming 14 hours ago, which means at about like 10:30, she was off. And typically on a Friday night, she'd be back again, and she wasn't. So did she kind of see Nader? It's highly possible, especially when we've seen this before where they'll both disappear and then all of a sudden they're back. So let's figure this out all together. Oh, okay. I will definitely look into that. Foxy A channel is pretty cool. Our girls channel is pretty cool as well. I got the internet tea is in the background. I'm gonna add you right now. Good morning, Clark E. What's up? Hey, Savitri. Hey, everybody. Kelly Way, GC. Hi there, internet tea.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Monty.
Morning.
How are you all doing? I've been in and out of your recent chats. There's been a lot going on. I've been
Yeah.
working, so I haven't really been able to pop in. Um, I just wanted to, I don't, I wanted to talk along with other people. My theory is yes, she's definitely with him. And I do believe her. I know a lot of people are thinking that her family didn't give her money. I do believe that her family gave her money because she knows that people are going to go after her family. She knows that people are going to, what's the word? Go message her family and say, "Oh, why did you give her money? Why did you give her money?" So she wouldn't have. I'm saying that would be a bad lie on her part to say, "Oh, my family gave me money." Why even bring it up if it wasn't actually true? I believe her family did give her money.
Okay, a lot of people share those thoughts and sentiments about many things that we're not 100% sure on.
Yeah, yeah,
And
it's
that,
just my belief. Otherwise, if she had taken a payday loan or whatever, whatever the case, if she actually still did have money left over, regardless, I mean, I think it would have just there was no need to come out and say I'm broke.
I see. Do you think she got a payday loan?
I really do think her family did it. I just think she wasn't thinking and blurted it out before thinking ahead of time. Saying, "Oh, my family gave me money," instead of saying, "Oh, I got a payday loan," because I think people are going to go and harass her family in some way and say, "Oh, that was a bad idea to give her money, and now she's spending it on drugs and takeout and everything." That's I mean, you're saying that if she actually got a payday loan and she's just saying her family gave her money, that's a possibility. But I mean, I think she kind of screwed up when she um, blurted out initially that her family gave her money because people are going to go harass her family and whether she wants them or not. I mean, it was a horrible idea for her family to give her money. Just somebody said that her stepdad sent her $2,000. I didn't hear that from her mouth. I've been watching on and off. She's been so boring lately. So,
Yeah. Yeah, you're
but
right.
just to hand a known addict $2,000 is kind of incredible. And then um, when she was talking to Pete, about the hats, about ordering more hats from Bay Nation. She's like, "Oh yeah, $500, no big deal. I can order. Yeah, how many hats does $500 get me?" And then she started counting. I mean, if her family would have done it the right way, they would have paid her bills, not hand her the money or ordered her groceries. I don't know if they actually ordered those groceries, paid for those groceries, but not just hand her $2,000. That was definitely a big mistake. But
All right.
um,
So
I
I
don't
just
know.
checked. That mug that I just showed was from Foxy 8, which is pretty cool. So I put the link into their channel right now so you can check them out. When I said or I mentioned the payday loan, I didn't mean as if you took out another one, because here's how payday loans work if you're not familiar with them. You'll get a loan, right? And you're supposed to repay it your next paycheck, or pay deposit if you get it directly in your bank account. So it doesn't matter if you're gonna get paid every week or every 2 weeks or every month. The next time you get paid, you're supposed to pay it back. Typically, those are the rules. So they'll set a date for her in and around. Typically, it'll be the 22nd, but last month, the 22nd was a weird day. So if you don't remember, she said that the payday loan place was calling her. I believe that was like the 23rd or the 24th. I believe it was the 23rd of May. She said that because the monies was supposed to have been taken out of her account May 22nd, but guess what? May 22nd was a Sunday. So typically you would get paid on the 23rd. But guess what? May 23rd in Canada was a holiday. So you are not going to get paid as a Canadian YouTuber because the banks recognize that as a holiday. So you get paid on the 24th. So that means that the attempted withdrawal was not successful, and that is exactly why the payday loan place, if she did get a payday loan place, was calling her. And if she tried to get the maximum from this payday loan place, especially with the amounts of money she was getting every month, they would have given her up to about five or even $6,000. If they gave her five, she would be paying back at $17 approximately per every $100, nearly $1,000 on that 5 grand. If you take that out of her pay that she got in the 24th, with everything else, rent, food, drugs, including the green, monies for Nader El Shami, transportation, gas, credit cards, groceries, phone payments, which at this point was like 1,200, car payments, utilities, everything together would have totaled about 12 to $14,000, depending on how you calculate it. That is a lot of money, and that would mean she would have been broke in about 2 weeks. So, by that understanding, it seems as if it's highly possible she did get a payday loan, she had to pay back, she got broke, and had to look for other places. Maybe the payday loan didn't want to lend her money again, or maybe she didn't want to get money again or borrow money again from the payday loan place. Who knows? I can't really say on that, but maybe it is possible she decided to ask her family, or maybe the payday loan just didn't want to give another loan because she was late on paying those monies back, because they're really 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 iffy, because a lot of people will default on those loans, and if she wasn't able to pay those monies back the day that she said she would, maybe they decided, hey, we're not gonna give you anymore, you're done. So factoring all of those things, um like I said, it's highly possible that she was broke in 2 weeks, even with 12 to $14,000 to pay. Yeah, payday loan businesses are extremely predatory. You're right. Okay. Join the panel if you want to. We are both here, Internet T and
Do,
I. If you want to
do
say
they
something.
allow to renew, like,
Yeah,
at
that's
least
that's
at least where I live, you just pay partial, like the interest, I think, and then you can like um uh you know renew it, like extend the payoff. I think
um
it varies by state in the United States. Like some states allow that, some states don't.
That
but you just
is,
pay like a fee to extend the payment, and you just that's what like
oh,
keeps people like trapped because it just keeps on adding and adding and adding.
yeah, of course. And you trap people. From my understanding of these loans, because I have had them before and it was a bad, 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 bad idea, is that they wanted full payment immediately with your next paycheck, and then you wouldn't have enough for your bills, and then you'd have to borrow again. Then the next paycheck, you'd have to borrow again, and that's how you get stuck in the cycle.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what the laws are there, but I mean, some states in the U.S. a lot, and in some states it's like I don't know, like 1,200% interest or something crazy. Like there's like
Yeah,
no
it's
regulate. It's like
ridiculous.
yeah, there's and that's where I mean I've been in tough times a long time ago. I've taken out, but I got out of them. Got out of the cycle. I mean, I'm not knocking the fact that people sometimes get in a situation that they actually do need it, but when you just got paid $10,000 and you literally have nothing to show for it, and you keep on, and it's not even, I don't know, maybe Nader's gambling a lot. I mean, that's the only way I mean, that's the only thing I can see, because she did say he does online, right? I think it was that he would get mad at her because he would lose online gambling
He do it
or
online,
and
but he
blame it on
also
her.
loves to go to the real casino. That was mentioned what, like a week ago. Casino stuff. Like I think him and
Oh,
Dee were
okay.
planning or thinking about going to the casino. Can you imagine? Yeah, it's just like bad mojo all around. Everybody's doing certain things that I'm like, OMG, why would you do that?
Yeah, it's just I'm just baffled. I mean, I just can't figure out where that much money could go. I mean, let's say she got on the low end $10,000 or $9,000 this
All
past
right, we
paycheck.
can we can do the calculations because I calculated it already. Okay,
Yeah.
so Kenny J, if you want to join the panel, join the panel. But okay, let's go over this calculation quickly. If you anybody else wants to join, go ahead. So the payday loan, if she got one, let's say she borrowed up to half of her income, which is typical for payday loan places around here. She could borrow maybe $5,000 or $6,000. Let's say she borrowed five at $17 on every $100. She's gonna pay about $5,850 back. Her rent 1775. She says it's 2K, but it's really 1775. Let's say her utilities is 225. Already, you are getting extremely close to what would be let's say 6 and 2, like 7 grand, nearly 7 grand. Let's say your car payment's 250 per month. So then, okay, let's just, yeah, so that's like a little bit over 7 grand. Let's say her phone payments, it's 1200, but let's say it's typically 3 to 400. Yes, it can get that high because remember she has her phone, Natter's phone,
Mm-hmm,
which was originally her second phone, and the iPad. So
mm-hmm.
typically with those Apple products, companies don't usually have plans that are like $50 or something for Apple stuff. It's usually like 100 or $150 for each line. So let's be modest and let's just say $300, right? Plus her data, she maxed out her data. So you can even say three or even $400, or you could calculate it as 1,200 because that's what she says her phone payment
Can
amount
I
that
just
would
say
be.
something about that 1,200? The
Yeah,
way she said it so casually, she was like, "Oh yeah, my phone bill was 1,200 this month. I maybe should look into it." I mean, what's a normal, just a normal? Let's say you, I mean, for 2, 3 lines, how much is a normal
it
unlimited
it
plan in
really
Canada?
depends because you have phone
Really?
companies now that service people who don't really have people who have a modest income.
Hmm.
There's plans out there that for like 30, 40, or even $50 you can get data and you can get a pretty decent phone plan. Or if she's, depending on which company she's with, I think it was Telus. Was it Telus that she's with? Does anybody know for sure which phone
I thought I
company?
heard. Why did I hear Rogers? I don't even know what
Rogers.
that is. Yeah, I just always, or was that because Pete's was working there? Wasn't he working there?
I
Or
don't
somebody.
know,
I don't know. I just keep on hearing that Roger's a lot.
but she should be paying anywhere from $300 to $400 monthly for those 3 lines, if those data packages are maxed out.
So it's extremely expensive in Canada
Yeah.
because,
Yes,
like, I
yes.
have two Apple iPhone 12 Pro Max, unlimited data. I mean, and it's 110 a month for both of us with pay
Yeah.
with, and that's including a payment on
In
our monthly
Canada,
payment.
we pay a premium on phone plans. We have some of the most expensive phone plans on the planet,
Yeah.
compared to other places around the world. So our taxes as well. We outrageous amounts in taxes, but that's neither here or there. The reason why I brought up Telus is because if you look carefully on the 15-hour stream, Natty Daddy, Natty Daddy's native connection was to Telus. So that's also a giveaway that I believe she's on Telus. And if he's on Telus, that tells you that that phone that is still on is still in Foodie Beauty's name. So if you look carefully, when he showed his phone to the screen, it said Telus there. So that's the reason why I asked.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so it makes sense that the phone's still on.
It is. Everything is still on.
Yeah.
Apple
All right.
products are too. Those payments are too. I have two iPads, and me and my husband plans on Apple, and I'm paying right at about almost 500 a month for all of that with unlimited data and all of that stuff. That shit is too expensive to just be giving it away to somebody, to some unappreciative nobody.
And what is the conclusion on his iPad? Was it a data iPad or was it just a plain old iPad Pro or whatever? Does
She's
any
she says she has
did
a
that?
plan on it, so it has its
But
Yeah,
own
was that a
data through
payment?
SIM.
Okay, I just
yeah,
didn't know if it was a
has its own
payment plan
data.
that she has, like a finance, or was it an actual iPad that has data that you can
It
just
it
walk
has,
around?
but if you
Okay.
dig deep, and if you dig deep, the iPad doesn't have unlimited data. So when he runs out of data on the iPad, she's purchasing extra data before payments are due for the next month.
Well, that would be the same with the phone as well then.
Yeah,
Um,
So there's probably another plan that exists that could benefit her, but she doesn't look into that, obviously, like usual, right? So she just goes with the flow. When
Yeah,
she runs
yeah,
out, she
exactly.
purchases more
she's
instead
Exactly.
rich.
of
That's what she's doing.
getting a better plan.
She's a boss bitch. She's rich. What
Hmm.
anyway?
All right, let me get back to the calculation. So, with everything, we should be in and around $9,000 now. We add the weed, I can say modestly 500 to 1,000 per month. We could go with that, whatever. Plus the extra drugs, that could be another $500, and that's modest calculations. Then the groceries, maybe $200 times two. The last time she went to the grocery store, she paid $186. And then when she ordered online, it was around that as well, about 200 and something. But she went with great value, so it was like, I don't know, like under 200, but let's just say 200 times 2 for an easier calculations. Then we get the gas, a couple $100, 500 to $700 will be modest, especially with gas prices at $2.10, $2.05, $2.15 per liter. To get that to gallons, you just times that by 4, because 1 liter, no, 1 liter is 0.26 gallons. Let's just say 0.25 for better calculation.
and then
We're
Monty, for the gas, you said it's more expensive in Montreal too?
Yes, yes, there's a premium on gas in Montreal. If you did not know that, I always fill up just before Montreal, because I will not pay an extra 10 up to 15 cents per liter for gas in Montreal, because it's just ridiculous.
Wow.
Then credit cards. So with my calculations of 5,850, 1775, 225, 250, 400, giving Nader cash of hundreds of dollars a month, the weed for about 500 or even 1,000, the drugs for 500 or even 1,000, the groceries for 400, the gas for like 5 to 7 or 800 dollars, plus the credit cards of $500. You are looking at about like 12, 13, $14,000 a month spent on all of these things, immediately depending on your calculations here.
So basically, she's almost getting a voided paycheck every month.
Pretty much.
Freaking ridiculous.
You didn't calculate any of the drugs, did you?
I did add in drugs. I separated even the weed because I'm thinking I can modestly say the weed is 500, but it's more like 1,000. Because before she was getting about over $1,000 of weed every month. You could even
Right.
say 1,500. So I'm even going lowballing with this. And then
Okay, so if all calculations calculate right, she actually owes YouTube something every month.
what do you mean by that? Oh, YouTube.
I mean by she gets her check cut, and with all of her unnecessary expenses along with some of her needs or whatever, she's overshooting her paycheck every month. That and comes the payday loans and all of that, and that's ridiculous.
Well, she wouldn't owe YouTube. YouTube would not let us owe them money. But yeah, she'd
Yeah,
be
I mean
owing
that was I was
like
just that
the
was
credit
just
cards, the payday loan places, Pete's, her mom, all these various places. I'm sure she owes like bits of money like everywhere. Credit cards, if the phone, like if they gave her credit. And again, she did borrow money from her mom, which is abhorrent, but it is what it is. So, what was the total, Monty?
I can only give a range of about 12 to 14,000 dollars plus. Yeah, somebody's talking about the food. Like if I go more on the food, like the fast food, you're looking closer to like $14,000 if the payday loan is calculated into this, which takes up almost half of these calculations, which a lot of people think she's getting the payday loan.
Oh yeah, for sure. She was in Panera Paradise for like a few days, like for a few weeks there, which was like $41 each time.
uh,
Crazy.
The pannier was if she picks it up is $26. If she doesn't, it is I believe $47. Let me check because I had it here. Yeah, if she picks it up, it's 26. If she has to get it delivered, it's like 47. That's what she was saying. It's like $50 a day through Uber Eats, plus the tip, right?
yeah.
Did I hear notes shuffling there?
Yeah. What do you think I'm doing? You think I can keep up with all this information without like putting it down
I I was taken aback
and going back?
when she made the statement that her eating at home makes her feel poor. I was taken aback by that statement due to the fact that I'm a lucrative business owner. What what she makes in a month, I make that in a week or more or whatever, and I don't feel any type. I prefer to eat at home.
Well, yeah, I won't Uber Eats anything. Like that's from how much did you say? 20 something dollars to 41? No
At
way.
for the pannier, you mean for the pannier?
Yeah, for the paneer.
It's $26 if she picks it up herself, but it's $47 if she goes through Uber Eats.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's a lot of money wasted. We got Tasha in the back. Tasha, if you need to see your cam. You can turn it off before I put you on live, but I need to verify people before I put them on panel. If anybody else wants to join, tell me what's up, what your thoughts on this whole situation. Then I'll provide the link right now. Okay, we got Tasha in the back. Turn it off now, Tasha. I'll add you.
Yeah, Tasha, Monty just has to verify it's not like a giant dong. That would be for his own eyes only.
That's fine.
Welcome,
Um,
Tasha.
hey. So yeah, I was on I guess maybe like a week ago, and I'm just like listening to the speculation about her money and such, and I don't mean to sound flippant, but it is easy to see how Chantel runs through money. And I'm talking about aside from Nader. And a lot of people think that $15,000 a month sounds like a lot of money, right? I'll give you an example. The industry that I'm in, it's normal for a consultant to make, let's say, between $80 and $85 an hour, right? And so that averages out to just right under 180 a year. Let's say if they're at the $85 an hour mark, right? And it sounds like a lot of money. But once you, like, I'll give you an example, like in New York, state tax, federal tax, city tax, gone before you even see that. So it looks like you're balling out of control. But at the end of the
Yeah.
day, it's not. And even though she doesn't pay taxes, A, she still owes that money. And B, she spends that money like she doesn't have taxes. And if you just see how she just goes to Starbucks sometimes twice a day, what about the $500 she just spent on those hats? Things like that. It adds up, and it adds up fast. It really does.
Yeah. What about the $500 she just gave him?
Honestly, even before Nader, because honestly, at the end of the day, he's a jerk, he's a grifter, he sucks, he's a scammer, he's all of this. But at the end of the day, we're talking about an almost 40-year-old, and we're looking at how she spends her money. And if that's just ordering off of Amazon, constantly ordering out, wasting subscriptions, let's talk about HelloFresh. She's been wasting that for how long? Over a year, right?
Yeah.
Well over. Stuff like that. Even if we don't include Nader, like, with Nader, she's like pretty much in the hole after that because she's almost skint
Exactly.
after what she
Exactly.
wastes on herself, if you really think about it. And she spends money like wildfire. And she's also very wasteful. Haven't we seen her go and get a Starbucks drink? She's like, oh, it's too sweet. Don't want it.
Yeah, we've seen her waste money, or that one time last year, supposed to get a slushy, and something happened, and she was like, "Oh, never mind," and then she just drove off. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's $3. That to her, that's nothing, but to some people, that's $3. I'm getting my money back. We had Little Trash Panda in the back. If you want to come back, Little Trash Panda, I'll add you. But yeah, she's very wasteful. She's even seen things where she's double charging instead of investigating or trying to get her money back. She just doesn't say anything. She just like doesn't even bother. I'm sure that $1,200 she's probably gonna pay it. Not even try her best to try and get it as low as possible. If you want to turn your cam off now, Trash Panda, do it. I'm gonna add you immediately.
And
All right.
my honest opinion, I feel like that
Hey,
she doesn't value money. She has no value for it
yeah.
because
Pretty much what I just wanted to say, I've been a big fan of all of y'all since I've started watching Monty about a year ago.
Thank you,
Well,
Trash
thanks.
Panda.
Yeah, thanks, Trash Panda.
I
Appreciate it.
know.
And also, I've been a watcher of Chantel since about 3 years ago because I used to be 315 pounds when I first found Chantel out on the platform. And I also have type 2 diabetes, and it also baffles me how she can say she cured diabetes by not even losing a significant amount of weight to where she could actually get out of pre-diabetic, because my diabetes is nowhere near as badly as hers is, because I am taking this metformin, and she was not even taking that. She was taking Ozempic, which was my mom takes. And mom takes about 3 other diabetes medications before she found Ozempic. And it's amazing me how she can see that she has no health problems at all when you can clearly see them just in the way she looks. And you can also tell that she's actually losing muscle mass in her actual body because of the fact that she's not doing anything with it.
yeah, but she calls it loose skin. Yeah.
Congrats on taking care of your health, though, Trash Panda. I think sometimes we get
Yeah.
so immersed in talking about how just trifling and ridiculous Chantel is about her health that we don't realize a lot of people started watching her because, she was going on these, I use the term loosely, journey. I hate that word now, Jesus.
Yes.
But, a lot of people started watching her because of that. So congrats. But You're correct. And one thing I also wanted to bring up, did you all see how she ate yesterday? There is no way that there's not something going on in that girl's body and she is not even bigger than she looks right now. There's something is horribly wrong with Chantal. You
Oh,
cannot eat like that and be that inactive and not something horribly, horribly wrong be going on inside your body. I would be terrified if I were her.
oh,
Absolutely terrified.
it's just the diabetes eating up at her body at this point. That's all it is.
Right, just
But
eating in the inside, and you can't see it quite as much from the outside. But even it's starting
yes,
to manifest itself. Like, you know how your GP will tell you the one of the first things that will you will notice when something's wrong with your body, your skin,
You're
and
scared.
her
yes,
skin is a telltale sign of, ooh, girl, you need to go get to your doctor quick, fast, and in a hurry because
yes,
her skin looks
because
terrible.
she's getting those sores that they're called diabetic sores that basically every diabetic knows that you will get from either you not bathing, and they're basically they stay open and they don't
They're
heal
not
unless you do take care of them.
Are they
exactly.
decubitus ulcers or something like that? I don't know. I'm probably
Yes,
pronouncing it wrong.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
they're a type of sore that you get from like your actual glands actually clog up with actual bacteria, and they end up pussing into pus balls, and they end up becoming like
yeah,
abscessed on your
open
skin.
wounds. I just pray that she starts to take her health seriously eventually. She values $1 more than she values her life, and that is fucking ridiculous. Excuse my language, but that's ridiculous.
As long as she continues, though, to easily be able to make a ridiculous amount of money to what is a ridiculous amount of money to most people, the average person, but absolutely not doing anything. Like I saw her shorts. They came up. Um, I think yesterday, and I was like, oh my god, this is insane. She literally is just making money by just sitting there and just eating and recycling the same
Nah.
DD Nodder all day, every day, and she gets paid handsomely for it. She doesn't have an incentive, to quit.
Yeah.
Nothing detrimental has happened in order to make her stop. It's
And
just,
her
and
I
until it
I
does, that's she's gonna stay
I
her
there.
honestly
her
think even if she does something drastic does happen to her, she does get really sick, she will be streaming from a hospital bed saying, "Everybody, look at me. I'm sick, but y'all need to come keep paying me," and just using it for sympathy. That's pretty much what I've seen. The kind of person she is. She has no empathy towards others or any reasons to actually stop doing what she's doing. As long as she gets paid for just sitting there, she's happy.
and as long as she's got a bunch of hers that's following her and that's enabling, and it's just gonna continue. The cycle is a never ending cycle with her.
I would also say to the people who are viewing who aren't members, though. I mean, like I said, the other panel. I mean, when they manufacture or whatever the drama that's going on, she'll remember for a while she was struggling to break 500 viewers because people were over it, and then the drama kicked back up, and what happened, right? She's back to 1.5, maybe even
0.5.
1.7. Right, so the thing is, people can say all day, I'm not watching her. Well, a bunch of people still do, and that still gives AdSense. I get that the memberships pay her, but she's getting AdSense from those views as well, which is why I refuse. I'll watch, if Kaya's streaming it or Monty
Yeah,
or whomever,
that's
because
me.
like
I'll watch
I'm
react,
not paying her.
but
I'm
I
just not
will
doing
not
it.
watch her.
Yeah, we got Mino in the background, but Mino, oh, I see you, Mino. You can turn your cam off right now if you want to. All right, I added you. Welcome, Call Connections. Welcome, Mino.
Hello,
Hey
Mino.
Hi,
everybody,
no.
how y'all doing?
Yeah, how are you doing? I guess we lost Kenny J. Kenny J might be in and out, busy, but
Okay, I'm
still hold
doing
on.
I'm doing pretty good.
That's good. So,
I'm
what do you have
just,
to say, Curl?
I'm just I'm not surprised on what Chantel does. Chantel would be that person that will be in the hospital live streaming, putting up this pitiful face and wanting you to send her money. Matter of fact, I know another girl that's on YouTube that does that same exact thing.
Shanae,
Yep.
That's
Yep.
another train wreck, guys. If you ever want to dive in
Oh
there, she's
yeah,
train wreck and a
that's
half.
complete fucking
But
What's the
catastrophe.
Pearl, you're
person's name? Shanae?
Shanae.
she was on My 600 Pound Life,
Yeah.
and she
Oh,
was the one who famously had her husband at the time, because they're divorced, whatever, was yelling at him about putting bleach in her water to wash up, but she was so disrespectful. But she's kind of like, Curl is absolutely right. I could actually see Chantel doing the same thing, but I feel like Chantel would be even more, because she has a bigger platform too.
Yeah.
People would actually give her money. I really do believe that. She was in the hospital with her sob story. I absolutely believe that.
Absolutely. Well, the reason why they don't give Shanae money is because Shanae done scammed so many people out of money. And she just done did so many people wrong with money.
Yeah, everybody's hip to her scam.
Uh-huh.
She need to come up with something different if she want to keep scamming, but that's wrong. But oh god,
I
You know
agree.
what though,
these fucking
Shantae,
train
Jesus
wrecks.
Christ. Chantel's a scammer too though, because remember what she did? I don't think that got enough traction about how she was, e-begging. And then
Yeah.
she's like, oh,
Like
I promised to be more frugal and responsible. And then look at her now getting money from her people, her parents. Chantel's a scammer too.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. I can't believe Monty don't know about Shanae.
Shanae is something else. Like that is all. Ooh,
I'm gonna
wow,
have to look
absurd.
more into it. There's
that's a whole.
Watch Keeping It Real TV, and then just go from the oldest to newest, and
Yeah.
then you'll have a comprehensive idea in terms of like a timeline
all
of all
Yeah.
right.
of her shenanigans. But it is,
An
when I
entire
say it's out of
train.
this world, right? It's absolutely ridiculous. That's the only way to describe it. There's no other word for it.
Um,
I mean, I never knew that self respect and dignity was for sale nowadays.
apparently it is.
Apparently so.
Child, I wish.
Uh,
I have questions for her parents. Her mom, I really do, because honest to God, if I was her sister, after she did all that embarrassing stuff like last year and such, and I think she talks about people's business too much also online. Just
Mm,
because they're related to you, it's not anybody's business what you and BB got up to in the bedroom. It's not anybody's business about. I just don't like
exact.
that. I think that's disgusting. And just because she's comfortable with putting her life online and she has no shame, doesn't mean that other people. It's not that necessarily they're hiding anything. Some of us like to keep things private, and that's okay.
She
But
doesn't.
she can't even. Chantel can't see outside her own perspective, so
She
she's
takes
not able to understand that somebody else may not want to do that.
she takes pride in letting people know that she's actually been with somebody.
And the thing about it is that she has to be with somebody.
Exactly.
Like, that's
You
crazy.
need you need validation for everything you do. You ask. Yeah, I would never ask my platform. I mean, I would ask my, platform certain questions, but my platform would not validate everything, every single fucking thing that I did.
Exactly.
Should I order out? Should I get this? Should I get that? Should I do this? Should I do that? Aren't you 38 fucking years old? Aren't you a fucking adult?
But you know why she has to have validation, right? If she doesn't have validation, then she feels like what she's doing is wrong. But if she has validation for it, oh, it's fine, it's okay,
Right.
because everybody else is telling me it's fine, I can do this.
You're
But
you're
if you tell her no, she'll cry like a little brat to basically
and,
complain that you're not doing the right thing for her.
and block you. Your validity, all that validity that you got from your platform, got your fucking channel snatched, along with your disrespect and your. Oh my god,
I'm
girl, go find your
surprised
life.
her channel isn't gone again.
I got a question that I would like to ask her mother, but I wouldn't because I feel like it would be disrespect.
We know where
It's
that's
like
going.
it's like when that one person in her chat, like everybody, oh, Nader's horrible, Nader's horrible, Nader's horrible. And then that one person that says, oh, keep your head up, honey. I've been through the same stuff, the DV and all that, and everything's gonna be fine. Just keep your head up. That's the one out of 1,000 comments that she'll read, and that's the one
Yeah,
that goes into her
I got you
head
on it.
that says, "Oh, okay, yeah, he's good for me," or like somebody will say, like, "Oh, everybody has problems, but it'll be fine," or
He's
something
not
like,
even.
like
He's
that's
not
the one
good.
she'll read, and that's the only one she'll like that she'll grasp out of all the negative ones.
I don't blame. I don't like Nader. I don't dislike him. I feel like that he's been utilizing his services according to how he planned to utilize his services or whatever. But you're wrong for doing that, you bum. But you're stupid for doing it, you idiot.
Yeah, I mean, like when
I'm a,
people
Boss bitches, you a boss bitch. Boss bitches don't pay for a leg.
and when she
I,
uses that term that, oh, it takes an average of 8 times for a DV victim to leave and all that doesn't apply to her. And then, people in her chat, like I said, will just like convince her that what she's, they'll say, yeah, it does. And then that like feeds into her mind. That one comment will brighten her day, like.
But what
but she
makes
was
it
like this
Again,
before Nader, though. Like, I mean, I feel like we focus so much on Nader right now because he's the hot ticket and he's been kind of propelling the storyline a little bit for the past year. But even with the whole like Nick thing, when people were like, "Girl, stop it! You're doing too much," quit it. But it was getting a little gross. Even before Nick with BB, when she was pressing him to be friends with benefits, and people were like, "What are you doing?" Don't. And again, she would latch onto somebody like Internet T said that would agree with, whatever her position was, to make her feel better. And at the end of the day, I think it also falls into the fact that Chantal is not living in reality at all.
no.
She has confused and conflated YouTube with her real life to such a
exactly.
degree that she like you roll over before you, excuse my French, but wash your ass or brush your teeth and hit a live button.
Well, we
Yep.
know she never brushed her teeth,
Shirt
so.
stained with food, right. That, you know what, I stand corrected. You're absolutely correct. But
YouTube's her only life, honestly.
I mean, when
that's
your chat has to
absolutely
remind you to brush your
insane.
teeth.
It's absolutely insane though when you think about it. Even when she talks about something, she says, "Okay, guys, so look up blah blah blah."
Well,
Like
you
she doesn't even think to Google or research anything on her own at all because she has these minions at her fingertips.
Exactly.
I don't know. It's actually
Really
bizarre.
it.
also you got to understand that she has the mind of a child.
Seriously.
Agreed.
She's 38 in age, but her mind says she's eight, five,
Right.
five at the
Exactly.
Actually, her mindset is of a 5-year-old. Basically, a 5-year-old will cry until they get what they want, and
yeah.
then if you tell them no, they will basically throw a fit on the floor and basically throw themselves at the mercy of you until you give in to them.
That's
I'm gonna
true.
take it down to 2 or 3 because like by the time my nephew was no. You play those games one time with me, I'm stepping over you in the middle of the store. You're not gonna embarrass me. That's just how you teach
Okay.
people. But her parents, you can tell they never did. Because honestly, there's even a 3-year-old. If you train that child, if you raise them correctly, you can understand. They understand that is not acceptable behavior. You cannot
Exactly.
do that. And guess what? There's consequences for when you do it. You don't have to wait until they're 6 or 7. A 3-year-old can make their bed. They can make it sloppily, right? They can't do it like we can. But if you get them into the habit of doing chores and stuff, they will. There's this
Yeah.
2-year-old on YouTube that vacuums. She has a little mini hand vac. She helps her dad cook and everything. It's
Practice.
amazing. But
Perfect.
Chantal, and this 2-year-old has more life skills than Chantal because Chantal was never taken out of that 3, 4, 5-year-old state. She was never made to get out of it, right? She was just pampered, and she doesn't get that at this age, honey. Life doesn't work that way, and
No.
people
I mean,
can't
even
joke with
my
you like
2-year-old
that.
nephew, when
She's
he's
so
on
privileged.
the toilet, he knows to wipe. My 2-year-old
Right,
nephew, he tries.
right.
He won't let me do it until he finally gives up. But he grabs
Yeah,
a little
because the
piece of
one
toilet
phrase I
paper.
hate that she always says is that I'm only 38 or 37 years old. I'm still young. I still have a lot to learn. I'm like, I'm like,
No, you
you're
don't.
literally almost 10 years older than I am, and yet you're still acting like a fucking teenager. Because
You're 38. What the?
And I hate when
Well,
she calls Dee Dee
I'm
old.
41, so
38
I'm
is not old. Let's
47.
make that clear, though. That's not old. And I really kind of get tired of people like, oh my God, DD's 47. Like, stop it. It's not
No,
old.
that's
Guess
what
what
I'm
it is?
saying.
No, let me finish, though. Old is relative, right? So if somebody dies when they're 47 or if they're 38, we're like, oh my God, that person was so young. But if you're acting a fool, not wiping your ass and not changing your clothes at 38, we're going to be like, you're too damn old for this. Right? So it's all
Okay.
relative.
well, when she says that, I'm not saying she's old. I'm saying she doesn't have the emotional or mental maturity to think that what she's doing is stupid. She thinks that it's okay because she thinks she's quote unquote really young,
Yeah,
and
that's
that
what
she's trying to
I'm
be hip.
saying. Yeah,
A
that's what I was
15-year-old wouldn't
kind
be
of
able to handle
saying.
that. They would be like,
My
Chantal,
50,
what are you doing?
my 50
You know?
don't think like that. My
She
50
is old.
Even,
I mean,
but
38 is an adult. It's a
even
old.
38 with the maturity
No,
of
I think it's
I'm
relative. 38 is actually
a
quite young,
5-year-old.
but I'm
no,
saying
I'm
it's
not saying
old to not
old
be
as an age.
responsible.
At 38, you should know everything. There's
She
nothing
hasn't
else to learn
learned,
about life skills.
If nothing
right?
else,
But she never learned it at all, though. I feel like she would like skip that whole stage in life. Like her parents just took 10 years off. Like I don't get how she doesn't even know. Have
She
you
doesn't know
seen
how
her
to
wash
fold
clothes?
laundry, fold clothes.
How
She
she?
doesn't
she
know.
Yeah.
don't
She said, I
wash.
do not know. I was never taught how to fold a shirt.
She
Oh,
don't, she don't wash clothes. She don't even buy laundry detergent.
she just throws a bunch of them. Do you remember that time in that crazy ass basement that Nader lit, that basement of that
yeah,
the
little
trap?
skinny
And
ass,
she
Yeah.
like overfilled it and everything. I'm like, do you not
and that
know they're
shit
not
was
gonna get
bucket.
clean? Like she doesn't like. Have you ever seen her walk around her room and try to find stuff to watch? And like she's like, okay, well I'm gonna wash enough so I have enough outfits for like 2 or 3 days. That's not how you wash, hun.
Nope.
Walk
That's not how that
find
works.
something to wear.
That's weird. So when Internet Tea like brought up like she doesn't even know how to fold her clothes, like I almost want to do a video on it because my dad, I
Yeah.
was a military brat, and it sets my teeth on edge
Oh,
when I watch
tell
her
me.
fold clothes.
But
I
I
was a
don't remember
military
being taught
brat.
how to fold. It's just something you know, you learn. I mean, she is that like just lazy or something. I don't know. It's just like there's some kind of disconnect because I don't remember being taught how to fold my clothes. It's just
Yeah.
something that you
It's,
know
it's
how
It's
to
something that
something you
do.
watch.
Yeah, like
Your parents
I
probably
learned how
taught
to
you when you were
iron
really
when I
young,
was
though.
6 years old, and I
I
learned
don't
how
know
to
how to
iron
fold in
like
the like
the
a
way you
store.
iron in a fucking dry cleaners. That's the way I learned how to iron.
I mean, everybody has watched their mom do it or their grandmother do it. I mean, it's not rocket science. Anybody can fold clothes.
I think it's
Yeah.
something that you absorb, right? So like Internet Tea was saying, I don't like it's just something you kind of know. I think that we absorb things like when we were really young, 2, 3, 4. So it just becomes a part of our daily life. It's just something that we do. And because so we just inadvertently we just learn how to do it, right? Like I don't remember being taught how to sweep. I saw my dad do it enough where I just figured out how to
just
do it.
knew.
I don't know. But
Her
Chantal, it was like
full
she just
absorb
sat there and they just gave her a bag of Doritos and some
all
oatmeal
that.
pies until she was, 12.
Bag of Doritos,
Insane.
oatmeal pies.
I mean, they weren't giving her salads.
True.
True.
That's not true. She said her mother used to make her eat salads.
I mean, oh, I was finna call her Shanae.
Along, along with a whole bottle of salad
She
dressing.
is a whole lie.
And
She
and recently,
said,
has anybody else been noticing how she's been taught, since she's in this, what is it called? Self realization or something like that. Part of the cycle, Monty says it. I forget exactly what it is. Anyway, talking about budgeting and how she's been talking recently in the past maybe week, at least week and a half, how she has been eating so much better and so much healthier, and that
still
I'm
her
like,
next page.
are you really in the same like planet as the people watching you? Because I just don't understand. Honestly, I mean, she's like so serious about it that she hasn't been having takeout. She hasn't been having, you know, this and that and everything, like so serious
broke.
about it. And
She's broke.
like,
She can't afford it like she wants it now.
no, but I
When
mean, even before the past couple of days, she hasn't stopped. She hasn't changed anything. She eats her groceries in a day. Literally, she orders everything and eats everything in the same day.
Did you guys see? Oh, I'm sorry.
And
I'm so
everything she ate
sorry.
yesterday. I don't know. It's like I sometimes wonder, is she like do certain days just go by and she doesn't realize that what's happened? Like, is she just so high all the time that?
Are you saying that she kind of doesn't realize that she's still eating more than she should or more than she thinks she
Yeah,
is, and she's not as
yeah.
productive as she believes herself to be, just because
Because
she's not ordering out every day?
it. She
Okay,
said, you
that
know,
makes
I've
sense.
been eating so much healthier, you know, oh yeah, and you know, I haven't been ordering takeout. I used to, like in the past, like years ago. I used to order, you know, go to order out all the time. I used to eat a lot. I used to eat so unhealthy.
Yeah, this is worse than smug Chantal. I'd rather smug Chantal than self-realization, or so she thinks, Chantal, because she'll go through and like, you guys, budgeting is so important, blah, blah, blah. Girl, who are you telling? We're all grown-ass people living within our means. Like,
Right.
what are you talking about? Like, she starts being all preachy and, you know, I need to make sure, you know, I make a substantial amount of money, so I should be, girl, we've been new and we've been telling you this. Like, are you really lecturing chat? I don't know. It's annoying though.
And then
It's quite
it
annoying.
was funny because she was like, I changed everything to the Great Value brand in my cart and I saved $60. Well, if she really knew, sometimes a Great Value brand is actually, sometimes some things are more expensive than the brand name brands. If you
Right.
actually
Yeah, like
knew how to shop.
I live to paycheck, but again, I only make maybe less than about 1,000 a month, and I have to live paycheck to paycheck because of the fact that I only have a job as a caregiver. I have no other choice,
Mm-hmm.
and I also help my mother with the bills.
Yeah.
She has no sense
And
of money value because she's been so privileged for so long that she doesn't understand
no,
any of it.
No, you're correct. You know what I would pay to see, instead of this nonsense, her like slobbing after her wheelchairs and all that stuff. What I would pay to see is for Chantal to have a life coach live with her for a week, like a hardcore one. I would absolutely love it. The meltdowns would be amazing.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
my boyfriend has already asked like if he could go out there and be a life coach for Chantel. I'm like, no, you can't be a life coach for Chantel. I'm sorry. The thing is, if you were her life coach, she would tell you fuck you and also try to hit on you at the same time. It would just be very awkward problems.
No, but it's funny because like she doesn't. Have you noticed, right? I think there was one. She was talking about some YouTuber or whatever, and she showed a picture of their living space, and it was like more like light colored, like off white, the furniture and like area rugs and such. And she was like, see, this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. Like, I don't understand how these people, you know, you guys, you know, live these like perfect lives. She thinks that everybody's house is like a hoard or it's pristine and it's not lived in. And I'm like, no, there's a happy medium. You can have a nice, clean home and not spend all day, every day cleaning it. It's called clean as you go. And
Right.
just be a
Yeah.
generally clean individual. It's not
Clean.
that hard.
After you eat off a plate, you rinse it off, put it in the dishwasher.
I
Exactly.
can't understand how they don't have roaches like literally on everything. It's so disgusting. I
I've
know that
always
they have
wondered.
cats, so the mice don't come around probably, but oh my goodness, I can't imagine what it's like.
I don't even want to imagine what that's like. I can't stand bugs. That's why I keep my house clean.
I think the drawer Kentucky Fried Chicken, that is going to live in infamy if you ask me. Jesus Christ. Unfortunately, I was watching it while I was at my hairdresser's, and she's like, "What are you watching?"
Oh
And she
no.
caught me, so now that's a situation every time I go there. But she was like, "What's going on with Foodie?" And I'm like, But she was like, "How the hell do you go to sleep at night knowing there's greasy ass Kentucky Fried Chicken in your drawer?"
It's gross.
Growing hair.
That's like, how did she not get roaches? I don't understand
I
how they
think
do
she
not have
has.
roaches at the house.
They have to.
They have to have some
them. I
type
mean,
of creepy crawler in that place. Like, remember the food she would leave downstairs, like
Mm.
just open, like
She
on the
would
couch. Yeah.
that
have.
has to smell. Like all of those old food smells. She's probably so nose blind. She's probably so nose blind. That place probably smells disgusting.
Mm.
But did you
I'm
catch
waiting for her
her
to
mom?
pan the camera across where she sits at in the living room, and there just be a pannier container full of nothing but maggots.
Oh my.
Ugh.
Oh my God.
Because at this point, this is the way she lives. It's like an episode of Hoarders that never ends.
I mean, how long did she have the blue pot filled with dirty residue?
It was 3 months. 3 months she had that blue pot
Oh.
full of dirty residue, and she still just threw it out, which pissed me off so much because that's a really
They're
really
so
That
really
was
expensive.
expensive
not.
pot. That's an El Castle, and I was like, I was so mad because I'm a home cook at heart, and I love cooking, and that was actually one of the things I've actually had on my wish list since I was little to actually own one day. And the fact that she destroyed it in such a short amount of time pissed me off. Which every tool she actually has is actually top of the line kitchen tool that any home cook would be happy to have in their kitchen. But
Absolutely.
she just uses it for absolutely no reason at all, just to basically have it, just to say she can buy it and you can't.
Mhm.
It's a testament to her making money so easily, right? And being able to
Yes,
just like buy anything and it being like whatever. It ties back to that. No respect for money and how,
Not value
you know,
money.
yeah, absolutely.
Not appreciating the value of a dollar.
Right.
no.
Because you
She
sit
doesn't
on your ass
appreciate it until she
moving
doesn't
down
have any, and
the
then
road.
she goes around to all these sites begging for money because
Oh
now she's
yeah.
broke and she can't afford food.
When she went in a whole panic mode when her channel got snatched. And she went in a whole panic mode. Oh yeah. Now you
That
see.
has to be where the whole payday loan thing started. I'm imagining because it had to have started somewhere because she's been
Actually, it started
consistently.
before that.
That was a few
The
months ago, right?
whole payday loan started once she realized Nader was slipping away from her and actually spending more time with Dee Dee. That's when the whole loans came into forefront. Because once Dee Dee moved in with Nader for just a visit, she needed to find a way to get him to get to her closer, which means she needed more money. And she
So,
still believes that he loves her when actually we all see it's just for the money.
so
He does
do
not
you
give
think she
two shits
handed
about her.
him? Do you think she handed him $10,000 or something? I mean, like he said, "Oh, my mom or something needs money." So, is that where it all started? Oh, the
Yeah,
first
I
time.
think that's the whole point.
Oh, the
It
Toronto
started off
trip.
whenever she gave him like a really large amount of money
Yeah.
before Dee Dee moved in, and then when Dee Dee moved in, she had no more money to give him, so she tried to get him back, but the iPad. And so she told him, okay, well this iPad has internet, you don't have to worry about it. But instead of taking her in, what he did was close the door in front of her and said goodbye.
Right. But she got him she got him an iPad and an iPhone, right?
Well, no, the iPhone was hers. The iPhone was hers. She did not like the iPhone because the fact that it didn't have filters and it showed all her imperfections once she started getting fatter again.
Okay. Okay.
That's why she gave him the iPhone. The iPhone was literally she gave it to him just because she did not like the way it looked on her. Because if you see her face in the iPhone, you see all the discoloration in her face and all the rosacea she actually has from all the bad eating that she does
And poor hygiene.
and poor hygiene she has. You can see how her face actually does not look the way it does. Her face is actually very round and where she looks like a little red tomato on a bigger body.
Yeah, I've seen her face.
Yeah. So that's the
I
reason
think we're
why
gonna
she
get
gave him the iPhone.
I think we're gonna get a tax arc a lot sooner than we think because you Canucks, you can correct me if I'm wrong because I know how the IRS works. Like you can start getting your wages garnished. And I don't think she's far off from that because she's owed taxes for some time and a large amount of it. Like,
She
I
owes
can
taxes
imagine
for
if I,
3 years.
okay, so listen, I cannot imagine. There was one year I paid, well, I think it was like almost 36,000 in taxes. That was for 1 year, right? If you imagine like 2 or 3 years of not paying that, that's enough money for some people to buy a house. That's an insane amount of money, and I don't understand how she sleeps at night. I don't know how the
Oh
CRA works, but the IRS, they do
This
not play,
is
like,
guard.
at
no, she
all.
she she owes like a cool almost 200 grand because of almost all the back tax she makes. Because last year was a very good year for her.
Okay, so
Oh,
does
and the fee. What about the fees too, right? So yeah,
All the
probably the
fees would
fees
add
on
up
top of
also,
it.
so it would be almost like a
Uh,
cool 200 grand.
does the
that's
IRS
insane.
work the same in Canada as it does in the US?
Asking, does it work the same in
It does
Canada?
not work the same, no, because they have a lot more tax laws and they have a lot more. They pay a lot more in taxes, so it would probably cost about that much in the U.S. taxes would be about a cool 200. And probably in Canada, it probably would cost her almost close to 250,000, 100,000.
Wow.
I owed a measly $27 to New York State because I accidentally put the wrong amount. And you know those assholes sent me this
Oh
nasty
yeah.
gram
You
that
you
was
know
probably like, it's ridiculous in the mail.
the
Like,
states pick
you owe
fraud too.
$27.
If you put the wrong date on your tax return, you owe them. Here in the
That's
state,
crazy.
everything is a no.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
$27.
What would even
New
happen
York,
until
New
she
York has
did that?
absolutely no chill. They're disrespectful, but
I've heard
what can you
different
do?
stories that since she's, well, in the US she would be considered a W-9 or whatever, self-employed. I that even in the US, like, that you can't garnish, for example, YouTube income because it's not a wage. I don't know if that's true or not. Obviously,
It's true.
it's not a salary.
That
It's not from an
job.
employer. So
No,
how
it's
would
not.
you
It's not.
garnish
It's not.
it?
It's not a solid form of income. It's pretty much you're being paid as an independent contractor, so they
That
cannot
You're
wage
supposed to
those
pay.
wages at all. But they
they can
can take the money straight out of her bank account if they wanted to.
Okay.
The tax people can, and they also can
Okay.
Correct.
also
or
freeze all her
or
accounts.
take anything that she owns to satisfy their
Well, she doesn't own
required.
anything. I
I know.
mean, by now it's like, just like Amber Lynn walks around with her totally wannabe imitation Louis Vuitton backpacks, like the little ones with the little flowers or something. I'm like, at least buy a good, replica or something. It's like, I mean, you have all this
Hey, whatever
money.
you can
Buy
say about
it.
Amber Lynn, she pays her taxes though. She pays her taxes
Yeah,
three
but she
times a
doesn't have
year.
Yeah,
health insurance. That's
have to give her
ridiculous
that
too.
taxes.
Oh, now she does. Now she does have health insurance. She made a big deal about that.
Okay.
I think
Now
what
she
the
does have
internet
health
is
insurance.
saying is
Good.
that if you're going to spend money, spend it on things that appreciate and don't depreciate, or at least are of value.
That's
Amber
what
does
I'm.
buy a lot. Yeah, you know what I mean? And as far as Chantal, same about, like, girl, they do not want that 2016 Kia that's about to die at any time. And and what are
But
we gonna, what about that couch? Their furniture that is not even worth anything. Like, she makes that much money and owes that much money, and essentially has nothing to
She has
show for it.
literally, she doesn't have a diamond. She doesn't have a gold necklace. I'm just saying anything. I'm not saying, anybody. I'm just saying for that amount of money, she doesn't have not one single entire thing that's valuable.
She
If,
has
Name one thing.
you
yeah,
Name
can,
one
because
thing
the
she could
only thing I
pawn.
can say about Amber Lynn that I love about what she does, everything she buys, she makes sure she makes a video out of it, and she makes sure she can take that off her taxes for expenses.
oh no,
Right.
well, I'm just talking about either one of them. But I mean, either one of them, neither of them have anything of actual
these
value. Like, I mean,
cars.
you should invest in gold coins or, you know, uh, even a Louis Vuitton, $2,000. It's something that's never going to lose its value. If you need it to, it's an investment in a way. I mean, it's just, that's what I was just saying. With all this money they get, she's walking around. Amber Lynn's walking around with her mini flower backpack that's imitation of an imitation of an imitation of a real Louis Vuitton.
Amber could have bought like a condo in Arizona cheap, right? And then rented it out, and essentially that person's paying her mortgage, and then she has an equity in.
Right.
Like I don't
Arizona's
know, like
expensive, but either way,
actually
she
not.
could
No,
have
no,
anything.
actually, I used to live there. If you're talking about Scottsdale and those areas, they are. But
Oh,
you can actually
okay.
get a very affordable property in like Chandler.
Still,
It's really nice that area. You can. I would buy a place and have somebody just like rent it out, have somebody else paying my mortgage. But
Right.
just like you said, like even though like a nice piece of jewelry or stuff like that, like look at all the jewelry Amber has, and you've never even bought something that at least has value. Like think about it with Chantal. If she wanted to even pawn something, what could she pawn in that house? And I'm
her
not even being
cheese-it
funny.
ring, her cheese-it ring from Torrid. Her, I mean, nothing. That's the extent of her jewelry.
She can't even pawn the Jafar ring because she doesn't even know what it is. Not that it's worth anything, but you know what I mean. Like,
The only
like
only thing that she could probably pawn is pretty much just her kitchen appliances. That's
Uh,
the
her,
only thing she could
her,
pawn.
No, they're not worth what,
They might not even
$20. I
take it.
mean, it's
Most
not.
of them are dirty.
Yeah, that's the only thing she could pawn if she can pawn anything. She
The
does not
stuff
own
that's
anything of really of
unboxed,
value at all.
not boxed.
She
Open.
sold her dignity and her self respect, so she can't even pawn that.
ooh, burn. That's the truth, though. I mean,
But
honestly,
dignity
if
and
Chantal
self-respect
was,
has been gone for a long time, Marie.
if she
She
was
has given
smart
that away for
though,
free.
she would like take everything because she has a lot of things in boxes though that she hasn't even opened or used.
Yeah.
If she was
Exactly.
really smart, and a lot of hoarders do. If I were in her position, I don't know if they have an offer up where she is or something comparable, right? But I would gather all that stuff, catalog it, take pictures or whatever, and just start selling it online. You can at least recoup some of that money from that,
do it on
right? And then
Poshmark.
right, and then just throw that money in savings.
Right.
You know, start something, start a little bit. She could dig herself out of the hole if she really wanted to. But
Who
Chantal
are
is
you
a
talking about?
so lazy.
Chantal? Okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you're
no.
right.
All those
She's so
boxes are
lazy.
empty. All those boxes in
No,
the
no,
corner
she has
are
actually no, but she has a bunch of boxes. She's like, I haven't even opened a bunch of stuff. I get
empty.
it,
Yeah,
and
they're like
I just don't
piled
even
up in the
open it.
corner.
My
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I would go through all that unopened stuff, but she is A, lazy, but B, Chantal is something I really, really hate from grown adults. She is so unresourceful that it just boggles the mind. Like when something happens, she absolutely has no idea how to fix it, ever.
Like she could easily sell those pretty litter boxes that she has unopened to someone else for maybe half the price of what she bought them for, but at least she'll make a little bit of income from that.
Aren't
But
those
And
to
actually,
her,
expensive?
in her mind, oh, that's too much of a hassle for
or she can
$15.
if she
Yeah.
don't
You know, I mean, that's not.
donate those to the animal shelter, you know?
What would
Yeah.
$15 do for her? Nothing. I
Nothing.
mean, that's what
Exactly.
I'm saying. It's like it's not even.
She'd rather throw it away than to donate it or to give it away.
That's and
Yes.
crazy to me.
Just like she'd rather throw her clothes away instead of wash them.
Exactly.
The
ugh.
yellow dress, she
Some
threw
of
it
the
away
some
because it was
of
dirty.
it be thrown away.
If she actually took the time, she can get custom made clothes that actually fit her nicely.
Now, if she bought the right
But
size, they like that a couple days ago she was wearing that ham colored shirt and she's like, "Oh, it's so baggy
It's
and
so bad.
huge." And when she stood up, I'm like, "That thing
I
fits
didn't
you
realize how short
perfectly."
that shirt was.
Oh, I didn't see the bottom of
It's the
it.
one she wore with the black Spanx, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's been loving the back
Them two
Spanx
bottom.
lately. I've noticed that.
I want
She's
to
been
know
loving the black Spanx.
what makes her think she look good enough to wear a bikini top.
It's
Oh,
self.
that was just to
I
piss
don't
us
It's
off.
her
That was
self
really just to piss us
confidence.
off.
The
That was
least
not
thing
for
you
anything else but to
do.
piss people off.
I honestly don't think she seriously sees herself as we see her. I don't. I stand by that. I honestly do not think she
I,
sees herself as we see her at all.
I
Oh
feel
no,
like she
she
only
does.
sees
We
what's
are
No, she
on the
does.
seeing
She
camera.
has very
her.
low self-esteem, and she knows she looks bad, but she will do it to prove a point that she is right and we are wrong, and so she will wear it begrudgingly just to be defiant.
We're simple peasants to her. How dare we have an opinion about her lifestyle?
It's all an act.
Business.
She's just gonna keep lying to herself until she hopefully believes it one day that she looks the way she thinks she does. But
I don't know though, because you
Because
guys remember that time she was looking and she.
I am almost 200 pounds lighter than she is, and even I won't even go out there in a bikini. I basically look at it, I'm like, no, that's not what you should be wearing. I'm only 4'9". I'm literally about almost a couple of inches shorter than her. I'm like, I don't feel comfortable in my own body. I know damn well you don't.
Well,
Yeah, but Chantal has some mental health issues, and like underneath, and that T said though, one time she was like, remember when she first started with the filter, she couldn't stop effing herself. Do you guys remember that?
Oh
And
yeah.
somebody in the chat made this comment about like the filter. She's like no. She's like, honestly, when I walk by a mirror, I see myself like I see myself right now. To me, that was very telling. Chantal really, I'm not saying that she doesn't have some breaks in that, right? Like she doesn't have moments of clarity, but she really is always constantly seeing herself in a filter. And if she avoids mirrors enough in real life, she tricks herself into thinking that that's how she looks. Like you see how she rubs her neck and stuff, because that's not how she really looks. You know, and she's just like, oh, she could not stop rubbing her face and looking at herself. I think that she's been doing these filters for so long and avoiding mirrors in real life. I do not think that Chantal has really grasped just how awful she looks. She's had over a year to look at
and that's why
herself.
her sickest burn is, I'm prettier than you. I'm prettier than you. To everybody.
Which
To
one of the,
everybody.
she's been lying to herself for so long that she believes the shit as well.
And her family. They still call her cutie.
Buster don't even like you. Your mother's dog don't even like you.
that dog hates her so much.
That dog would like to rip you a new one, lady. That says
Dogs can tell personalities. They know.
yes, they can.
They can tell people's personalities, and they know the people that they won't want to be around. And
right,
you're her own animals.
It's so telling. Oh my god, her animals stress me out. I've worked with animals and at a vet and just
yeah, but I really wish she would stop using mental health as one of her issues that she says that she has problem with, because I have ADHD and I'm also borderline autistic.
Okay.
And I also see that as I also have really bad depression and anxiety.
I'm sorry.
And I don't like going out into the world in public. Like right now, my mom's planning on going onto a actual party later on today, and I'm actually choosing to stay home and not even go out anywhere. Pretty much because I have a really slight bit of agoraphobia because I don't like people, and also I have a lot of illnesses I have to deal with too.
Yeah.
And it's just easier for me just to stay inside.
Yeah, as do I.
I absolutely hate how she uses mental illness as an excuse for everything.
As a crutch.
She doesn't have any, like, she doesn't go out of her way to make herself better anyway. Right. And doesn't
But
go
I
and try
honestly
to
don't think
help,
she has mental illnesses. I think it's more the fact that it requires her actually effort to grow up and be an actual human being and be a part of society.
Exactly.
But she'd rather not do it, because if she does it, then she has no crutch like James, her roommate, has. That he actually is the way he is because he is in a severe depression spiral because the person he's living with truly it gives him unrequited love that he gives her.
Wait a minute, but are the two mutually exclusive though? I think sometimes in this community we want to be, we have half being like she's not mentally ill, the other half being, she's just lazy, the other half being like, no, there's definitely something wrong with her. I think we do a little too much either or, right? I don't think they're mutually exclusive. So just to go back to what you said about Pete, right? Pete has some mental health issues. Pete is severely depressed, among other things.
Yeah.
Pete is also a lazy asshole though.
Yeah.
He's also gone on camera and said, I'm just too lazy. Even when he started doing YouTube, he's like, yeah, I'm thinking live stream because it's less effort and, I'm like incredibly lazy. No. He doesn't get a pass because he's mentally ill either. Same with Chantal. I think they both have, I think they both have mental health issues, but I think both of them suffer from being criminally lazy. And James is less malicious in how he doesn't necessarily weaponize weaponize it the same way as Chantel does.
Yeah,
Mental
I
health
Yes, he does.
issues are
He
not your
does.
they're not your fault. They're not your fault, but they're your responsibility. I don't think he weaponizes it to the degree that Chantel does, but he does. Like he does
Because
it
you
with
know why?
definitely
You know
think
why
he does.
Chantel weaponizes it, right? Because she's a narcissist. She has all the traits of being a narcissist, and that's the
Her
reason why she
narcissism
weaponizes it.
is big
So,
as her.
but pretty much, no matter what anybody tells her and what she thinks she did wrong, she will always turn it back on that other person to make them feel worse about themselves. And I know that because I was raised by a narcissist. I was raised by my father. My father was a straight up narcissist, which is why I have so much mental trauma and dealing with a bunch of shit.
Man, she is
right.
definitely.
But we see Pete though, he weaponizes the stuff that he learns on Twitter and spits it back at people when they really come to him with genuine
Genuine
questions
concern
and
and
That is what I'm
queries,
saying. He does weaponize it.
He does,
If you don't listen
you
to
know?
him, no matter if he says the sky is, red or green, and if you don't agree with him in his chat, you've heard him go off. He will
Yeah.
go
He's
off.
aggressive. He's
And
very
it's
aggressive
and
and
it's
borderline
over.
abusive.
It's about these like crazy topics where a lot of opinions can be involved. It's not, it's not something that's like black or white. It's, he talks about all these crazy topics where people are
Oh
allowed to
yes,
have different
and that also has
opinions.
to do a lot with his autism. He has a type of autism that really messes
Here's
with
the
his
thing.
head to the
He's
point
never
where
been diagnosed. So he's never been diagnosed. He's never been evaluated. Nothing.
I think that he said he has been. He actually has been diagnosed and evaluated.
No.
I mean, even if we take that off the table, his autism did not make him quit his job. I'm sorry. Pete is also very lazy.
Lazy.
We make fun of Nader, but you know what? This is gonna be an unpopular opinion. So what? He's a scammer. You know what? Yelling at Nader for being a scammer is like yelling at a frog for saying ribbit and jumping. That's what frogs do. Scammer's gonna
That's
scam.
what
Frog's
scammers
gonna jump.
do. Exactly.
But at the end of the day, Pete is just as bad in a different way. And let me explain to you why. Pete may hate Nader because he genuinely is a jerk, and who doesn't? Because Nader has zero redeeming qualities. However, you cannot convince me that Pete doesn't also understand the more time and resources Chantal puts towards somebody else, the less she's going to put
The
towards
less
him.
he's getting.
Pete is not stupid. Pete's whole life depends on Chantal. He has said, I don't know what I would do without Chantal, blah, blah, blah. He didn't have to quit his job. He could have gotten the help that he needed in order to, wait until he found something else that was more suitable or get on some sort of assistance that could help him, due to his issues and such. But he's also lazy. And the thing is, again, mental illness, it's never your fault, but it's your responsibility. And if you know that you're unwell and there are resources there in Canada to help you and you actively choose not
To not seek.
I don't feel sorry for you. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm gonna reserve my sympathy for somebody who wants help and doesn't have the resources.
That's what really gets me, because they always shove the free healthcare in everyone from like the US and other countries in their faces, but they don't actively use it unless it's an emergency. And then she goes, and because of her own health, like eating issues, she is causing trouble for other people, but then they refuse to get help for their own problems. Having a mental illness and having all these issues, a lot of people have that. A lot of us have these issues, but you have to go out of your way to be better and get better and know what issues you have. You can't use that as a weapon. Mental illness is not a tool to use as a weapon against other people, and it isn't an excuse either.
Let's clarify the Pete's thing. Pete's has not been diagnosed with anything. He wanted to. There was talks of him being diagnosed, but it's actually more expensive as an adult. And I believe it would have been free if he was a child, but his parents or he somehow slipped through the cracks with being diagnosed. He does believe that he does have autism. He's pretty high functioning. I also believe he does, but he has not been diagnosed because when he was supposed to as a child, whoever had guardianship of him failed him, which I believe was his mother. And now to get those tests, it's going to cost money. And guess what? Don't got no money right now, right? Plus, it's expensive.
No, he doesn't have any money.
Chantal. She pays for Chantal. She pays for everything else.
Well, the thing is, the reason why he has no money is
help.
because Chantel was having Pete pay for everything for the first 2 years they were living in the apartment.
Exactly. And I made a point of reminding people of that for the first year or so that they were there. He was footing the bills or whatever and stuff, and now the roles have reversed. I don't know. It's just
so. How did they
all
move
the
into
way
that
down.
apartment? Why did they choose such an expensive apartment?
Oh, that's because that was Chantel's reason. She kept telling him that I want to live there. I will pay for the bills, but she never had money to pay for the bills, so Pete would have to pay for the bills straight out with his credit cards every month, and Chantel would just pay him back.
She was gonna cook, and she was supposed to actually cook and take him to work as well.
I thought that was old from when they used to be together. Okay, so
honestly, I don't think Pete went that much debt after the villa. Like, yeah, she wasn't making as much as she makes now, but I think she was paying most of the bills, because if you go back to an older video, she did say that she had no problem paying more of it because she did make more than Pete. She just needed his credit at the end of the day because she didn't have a good enough credit rating. And the deal was she would also clean and then take him back and forth to work, because before, where he was renting a room for the lady, he could get to work by himself, But the pandemic hit, remember? And they moved in that April of 2020. And so imagine what would have happened if he would have had to depend on Chantel to take him to work every day. He would have had to quit that job anyway.
He wouldn't have.
But
yeah,
I'm
there's
curious,
no
she's always saying, he did so much for me. How is buying him takeout food every day and muffins paying his debt? That's what I've always wondered. I mean, I don't think she pays towards his bill, his credit card. I think they're probably just in default.
His credits are pretty much in default. She ruined his credit. She ruined almost everything he has to his name. Like, if they get kicked out today,
yep, she did.
Pete has nowhere else to go to basically even get himself a new apartment because she has messed up his credit.
And
he doesn't have a job too.
Think that
he doesn't have income.
You would think that he would be smart enough not to let her use his credit if she went through bankruptcy.
Oh my God! Please.
That's the thing, though. Hello.
Hi, Natural Ginger.
Am I crackling?
Hi, Natural Ginger.
No, you're not crackling, baby.
Okay, right.
That's his best
One
friend.
of the reasons why Pete signed the agreement for the villa was because she promised to cook and clean for him and take him to work in the car every day.
Exactly.
And then the pandemic happened and it all changed. But that was one of the reasons why Pete agreed to live in Orleans, because it's so far away from anything, and he needed transport to get to work. Yeah. And that's why she promised to do that. The cooking, the cleaning, the paying of the rent, and taking him to work. That's why he agreed to that rent.
And he was to pay whatever he could afford, is what the deal was.
He just pays a nominal fee towards household expenses. That was the agreement at first, because remember, he was living in like a boarding house with a landlady before that, and so it worked out for both of them for about a week, and then the pandemic hit. In fact, the pandemic hit before they actually moved in. But
moved in,
yeah, the pandemic hit right before they moved in.
So, and for I think they both have. She can't have credit card. I could be wrong. I assume she can't have actual credit cards because she's been bankrupt. I don't know. I'm not sure. I know
she has one credit card. She has one credit card that she does use all the time. She has one credit card. She does pay the minimum balance on every month, because that's the one she uses mostly whenever you see her go to Starbucks. She will give that credit card to the baristas all the time. And she's shown that credit card several times, and she has doxed herself with that credit card.
Yes, yes, I remember that. You're correct about that. But Pete's is the ones with the credit card, and she has said, you can guarantee she said to Pete, let me use your credit card and I'll make the payments on it.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. Like, she basically backs out all his credit cards within the first year of them living together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Within the first 6 months.
She maxed out all his credit cards and never even has even attempted to try to pay him back with that.
Yeah. So he's like thinking, well, I don't have to pay for many of the bills. I certainly don't have to pay rent or any of the taxes on that. I can just earn my wage and pay a little bit, and I get free travel everywhere. I don't have to pay for petrol or gas, as you say. But that was all the agreement they had, and then the pandemic hit and everything changed. So.
Yeah,
it's probably a secured. Do they have secured cards in Canada, Monty?
Yeah.
I mean, Capital One is famous for secure cards. And
there's Capital One
non-secured.
secured and unsecured.
Yeah, I'm sure she has a secured Capital One.
The wild thing is like her bankruptcy. The wild thing is her bankruptcy was so long ago that I know in the U.S. everything falls off after 7 years, your pay or whatever. It's sad because the thing is like it probably right. The bankruptcy is probably fallen all the way off, guys. It's 2022, but here's the thing: she's been so bad with her money since then. And like she could have cleaned up her credit completely and all this
by paying off her car would have helped.
She could have, she could have, right?
Boost your credit.
Correct, because that shows off as a loan that's come. Yeah, it shows that it's a loan that's been satisfied. You're absolutely right.
Building credit, and she's been such a shit show with her money and her habits and all that she haven't taken time to. To rebuild her credit or to attempt to rebuild her credit or anything like that. So,
yeah, the month she made $20,000, she could have just honestly, she could have probably knocked a bunch of stuff off just even there and that alone. Meanwhile, she complains about $60 for something that was actually a good thing to spend money on. But she's like an addict, right? You know how an addict.
But you've got to remember that $20,000 paycheck that she got, that might have been the highest month. She might have got something similar before that and similar after that, but maybe even more, I'm not sure. But she will not have had that $20,000 in her bank account for very long. I bet loads were taken off of what she'd owed on cards, payday loans and stuff.
You're crackling again.
Right, okay, thank you.
But what I'm saying is in anything.
No, that's fine.
But what I'm saying is $20,000 is still $20,000, and she was still earning. It's not like she was earning $1,000 a month subsequently. So I guess what I'm saying is that if for most people, if you get some sort of nice windfall that you're not really anticipating, right? A lot of us will be like, okay, half of it I'm going to just put in savings, and the other half I'm going to pay down XYZ or whatever, some sort of plan.
Yeah.
My point is she's earned way too much money to at least not have at least decent. Have cleaned up at least her credit by now and paid off her car. She spends and I would say wastes a phenomenal amount of money just in a week or two. Look at her now. How do you make $10,000 a month and you're going to your mom for money? That's absolutely insane.
That's true.
And you're paying car payments on a 2016 Kia damn Optima. Come on now.
Is that a thing? How do you owe money after that? This is a serious question. I don't understand how she can owe money in the cars of 2016. Can somebody please?
You know what it is? What's going on with her in that car while she's still paying on that car is she probably got a loan that was a 5-year loan. Mind you, she probably was late on a few payments. And what they'll do is, especially since COVID has happened, they've been giving people a lot of extensions on a lot of bills. So what they'll do is whatever the past due amount is or whatever late fees you have, they'll put it at the end of the loan to bring you current.
Ah, gotcha.
That makes sense.
Okay, that actually makes sense. That actually makes sense because I'm like, the math is not adding up for me. So thank you, Carl.
Oh, no problem. So, I mean,
I think
just need to get our life.
Go ahead.
I
think Pete.
I'm gonna add you, Trash Panda, again. So turn off your camera if you want to. All right, everybody's back. The other thing about that is, remember, the car that she bought, she didn't buy it in 2016, right? So you can actually have a 7-year payment plan on a car, which will be 84 months. So that's why she's still And remember, she bought it when she was the bankruptcy was still fresh.
Yeah.
So she's
Oh,
paying
so
a
the
lot.
interest.
Yeah, so the interest
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
pretty high, and she at
Probably
that
was
time
a
she
little.
wouldn't be able to afford that much money per month. So therefore, it would seem reasonable that she would do a 84-month finance plan.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for breaking that down, because I know for a lot of us, like I would see in the comments, people are like, "You're still playing on that Kia," and they're right. But when you break it down, that way it completely
Yeah.
makes sense.
right.
Totally.
Because
But
to
I
her,
don't
it seems
know.
better if she owes, let's say, 5,000, right? To her, in her mind, if she pays the $400 a month instead of just giving one lump sum of 500 just to get rid of it, it doesn't make sense.
No, it makes more sense
Because
to her
then
because she's building credit
because
that
then
way.
she won't have any, edible money or anything. So it makes more sense to her to pay the 400 a month or whatever it is, instead of paying it off, the 5,000 that she owes.
Yeah, because like
What a normal person would do is, if they
yeah,
have that money, pay the 5,000.
exactly. Because like I just moved into my house. It'll be September in a year, and we have 2 cars. And each time we pay either our house note or our car, about that my phone
Cutting out.
we pay a little bit extra to go towards the interest. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And you could pay it off a little bit bigger. I'm sorry, my phone had rang. Charlie wasn't nobody. But
No, that makes sense though. That makes sense. But Chantal doesn't think that way. And honestly, I think Pete's hitching his wagon to her. I think this is going to be a disaster. I think Chantal's in for a financial crash, if you will. She
So
can't
her
keep going like
parents are
this.
pretty much supporting Pete's now, buying his
That's
blueberry
that's
muffins and buying all
and I
that.
saw a lot of people saying that. And honestly, that's another thing about Pete's. That's gross. I'm absolutely sorry. Your friend's parents don't need. I would feel embarrassed. I really would.
nothing wrong with him, but he can't go get a job.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
He
Like, how
has
are you okay with
like
that?
these.
he diagnosed himself the other day with executive dysfunction. That's what he says he has. I
He's
looked
like,
it up, and he doesn't have any of the symptoms. It's not a disease. It's a I don't know what it's called, a
he's
disorder
like
or something. But it has nothing to do with him.
wants
So
to go
that's what he said.
Oh,
That's what
still
his new diagnosis
wow.
is.
and
I have heard it all.
They always have an
Jesus.
excuse for
he's
something.
So did you all hear that Chantal's going to try to get a caregiver check from him?
Oh yes.
Try to
I've
get
heard that
him.
You
a
can't
Try to
get
get him
caregiver.
on some kind of disability so that she can be his caregiver for his executive dysfunction.
I don't
No,
Yes, I heard
and,
that.
I don't know
and
I don't
if
know how
anybody
it is.
grants her that, they need a caregiver as well. She
I don't
can't
I don't know how it is in Canada.
herself.
But I know in the US, you can't if you're gonna have a caregiver, they cannot stay in the same
They
house as
can't
you.
live in the same
No, they
space.
can't
Physical.
unless they are
They can't.
actually family. That's the only way that could happen.
Wow. Chantel's getting real creative with her little scams as of late. All
And
right.
speaking about disability, my understanding is in Canada, if you owe taxes, you're not, if you're back on, you owe taxes back, you can't get any government assistance. And Pete does not pay taxes either. Has not filed his taxes.
Well,
Oh, really?
that's a negative.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow,
A
sir.
negative times a negative divided by a negative.
Exactly.
I don't know though. Something's gonna give, because honestly, that Kia is on its last axle as we speak. And
Alternate
and
out.
you're right. Yeah, it is. I'm talking. It has one foot in the grave, the other one on a banana peel. Like it's
It
about to
doesn't
go.
matter. Mommy will sign. Mommy will co-sign.
You
Her
know
mom
what?
is a
And I will.
CNA.
And I will say
I
this about her mom. Isn't her mom though like a director or something at a nursing home? I don't think she's a CNA.
Yeah.
She's a CNA. She's a caregiver. She's a CNA for
Okay.
US people.
I mean, I don't. Yeah, I'm not super aware, and I don't want to, my point is, whether she was a director, a CNA, or she swept, if she's a janitor, like, this is ridiculous. Like, and her mom, I'm sorry, I'm her mom's to blame, because honestly, I would sit down and be like, I would sit down and be like, okay, I hear what you're saying. So you're telling me you made XYZ and you're asking me for a loan until then? Oh, no. If I did help her, we would have a spreadsheet. We would have a document, a promissory note. I don't give a damn if I gave birth to you or not. That is a business transaction.
Document.
And
or at least I would make her car payment for her directly to the car or directly to the electric company.
I would say the only way I'm going to help you is if for the next 6 months, I will work with you. You will send a certain amount of money to this bank account. It'll I would set it up where, you know how you can transfer money from your, when you get direct deposits from, that account automatically to another.
Money or
I would have a spreadsheet, an Excel spreadsheet. We will break it all down. This is how much you have to live. If you spend all of it, tough titty kitty, but the milk's still good. Okay. That's it. That's the only way I would help her. Because otherwise, at this point, this is enabling.
But her mom would never do any of that, right? Because her mom would rather see her be enabled and be happy than her actually suffer.
And that's her problem. I agree with that. Like, my dad, there's been many times I made mistakes, God rest his soul, and he's been dead 3 years now, but I'm telling you, there are times where I'm like, Dad, I'm glad you let me just like fall on my face. I wouldn't have learned. I wouldn't have done better. He let me be uncomfortable. He allowed me to be uncomfortable. And he was like, once you get uncomfortable, guess what? That's when change starts. Right. When you're not comfortable, you'll start to figure out, maybe I should do things a little bit different. And I was in my early 20s at the time. And I'm glad that he did, because now I'm in my late 30s and, oh God, no, that's a lie. I just turned 40. And see what happens when we get older? But like, my dad, God rest his soul, like, thank God he let me make those mistakes. And he did it because he wanted me to do better. And, I could do better, and that the world was not going to cater to me. And the older you get, God takes care of babies and fools. The older you get, the baby label drops off, and you're just an idiot.
Well, you just
at some point.
That's true, because her mother is really the only one with the power to lay down the law to her and get a grip of her financial situation. Like you were saying, make a plan, draw up a spreadsheet, or if you can't understand them, a piece of paper and a pencil. And a column of incomings and outgoings and things.
Right.
And I think her mum is the only one that she has enough worry that could yield that or wield that much discipline over her. Without her going, fuck off, I don't owe you anything and you can't tell me what to do, blah, blah. Well, she'd say that to her mother, but really she still is a mother. And despite all the things that Chantal has done with her over the years, she still loves her mother, at least. So,
yeah.
I think Kim's not being very clever about stuff.
I really worry that she's going to end up hitting someone with her car before it breaks down. I worry about her getting into a car accident so much, and even if she doesn't get hurt, she could hurt someone else, and it could end so badly.
That is very true. I've always said that. I don't care about a financial situation. She's always going to have money. She's never going to be skint. She's never going to be really poor. She's going to be fine. But what we should really be worrying about is her driving.
I don't understand how YouTube allows people to drive while streaming. That
I'm not supposed to.
It should be against the terms of service to drive
I'm not sure
while
how it's
streaming,
not.
period. I'm sorry, I don't like it. I just don't.
And yourself.
She does it. She looks at the phone all the time. She's always reading the stream. And you can tell when she's reading the stream when she puts big sunglasses on, so you can't see her eyes.
She was like, "Oh, I have people watching the stream for me." What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Watching the stream, but some kind of way you seem to figure out what people are saying while you're there.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody made a comment about that. One of the reaction channels were like, okay, somebody's watching the stream and giving you a feed through your ear or something. Like, what are you talking about? But you're absolutely right. And like, even when she takes her hands off the wheels and she's like waving her hands all pissed off and mad and a rage. Honestly, if I were, I would, if she hit me, I would sue the shit out of YouTube. I would sue her civilly.
Yeah.
And let's also think, remember, guys, she already hit somebody and paid them off. Remember, he thought she hit a big animal or something?
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, I remember.
She already hit somebody, guys.
If she hit me, I would sue the hell out of her YouTube, but I would whoop her ass first.
And she won't have any way to deny it because it's going to be on live stream.
Not whoop her ass.
I would whoop her ass first. You know better. You 38-year-old fucking toddler. You know better. You're driving. You pay attention to what's most important, and that is operating this motor vehicle. Not your chat, not your ass pats and your super chats, not none of that. Hit me. I'm gonna hit you, and then I'm gonna sue your ass.
No, but you're absolutely right in terms of you're operating a 2-ton vehicle at whatever speed, and you know how when she turns the camera toward the road, it gives me anxiety. Her driving is terrible on a regular day.
Because you drive wild. Who in the hell runs over the same bump repeatedly?
Right.
If you ran over the first time, then you know that shit is there, right? Why repeatedly? You're a bad driver, you're sober or high or whatever the hell you're on. Give your life.
She hit. She was running over frogs. She hit little bunny foo-foo. And then, when she had the big accident, we thought she hit like a bigger animal, but it was a car.
Yeah, but it was an actual person. But all of this shit is hilarious to her. It's funny. It's a ha kiki. Everything is funny until it's not any fucking more.
Yep.
And as Kaya says, she is not cut out for jail. Can you imagine Chantel getting arrested? Jesus.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Her mother and her enablers are selfish as hell. Y'all are enabling this lady. What the hell is she gonna do without a sense of responsibility or anything when y'all are no longer there to enable her anymore? Right. Then what the hell is she gonna do? She's gonna be a shit show for the rest of the world. Send her ass to the island of misfit.
Yeah,
I don't know about
people treat her at 38 years old, and she acts like this. It just is so unbelievable because I'm a couple years younger than her. I'm 32, and I cannot imagine living a life that lazy and disgusting that you can't even brush your teeth. And she brushed her teeth with like an old used Q-tip the other day.
Yes, she did. It was
oh God, no, she did not. Please tell me she didn't do that.
She did not.
She was cleaning her ear with it.
Cleaned her teeth with the Q-tip.
Yeah.
Confirmed she did that.
She did. That
Wait a
was
minute.
so disgusting.
Teeth.
Not only did she use a teeth, she used a Q-tip for her teeth and her ear. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yep.
She used it in her ears first, and then she started cleaning her teeth with it.
Yep.
Did she have
the fact she still has teeth in her mouth amazes me. How has she not corroded them enough to where they have just fallen out naturally?
They're slowly disappearing, just like Nader's. They're slowly disappearing.
I'm sorry, did anybody confirm that she switched sides with the Q-tip? I'm confused. Like,
I'm not sure about that, but probably not.
She went from ear to mouth with the same side.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You confirm
Every time I think that, no, she's not going to get any nastier. Like, this is the tipping point to the end of the line. She seems to run over that hurdle.
Well, she been slipping on Pierce's cheek for a week now.
I know, as I said, that she ran over that hurdle already several times over. I'm just hoping that maybe one day she'll learn to be a lady.
Wait, she hasn't washed the sheet. Wait a minute. She hasn't washed the sheets yet?
No, she just threw a pillow over it, and she said, "Okay, that's fine."
No, she said it was water she wasted.
She's lying about the water because when it spilled the other way.
That way.
She pissed them.
They're going to the middle of her bed.
She put a bad good ass shit by putting them on her nasty ass bed.
How you sleep on pissy sheets? Ugh. Come
Well, not
on.
only that, did she correct it? You remember when she got sick?
Matter
Did
of
she
fact,
correctly
she
clean
live.
up that stuff? Or?
No, I don't think so.
And there's vomit
It
all
was on
over
the
the floor still.
by the computer.
Okay, see. Oh my God, that's disgusting.
I'll be honest with you. Have anybody has ever seen her actually have a cleaner around her house that she actually uses?
No.
I have not either. I've yet to see laundry detergent. You've seen dish soap. I've yet to see anything that actually takes away grime.
Never seen laundry detergent.
It's disgusting. Everybody on the panel say "I" if it takes you 10 fucking industrial garbage bags to clean your fucking room. Don't worry, I'll wait. Thank you. Besides garbage bags, you clean your room. And you just,
I've never seen her vacuum, and I've never seen her use laundry detergent.
You know what?
No, Natural Ginger just bought a good. I'm sorry, Curl. Yeah, you're right. She just brought up a good point, right?
No, I've seen her vacuum downstairs. I have. She was on camera one time, and she was vacuuming downstairs. But washing, no. No one has ever seen laundry detergent. No one has ever seen her put a load of clothes in the washing machine, nor the dryer.
I've never seen soap that she's used.
I ain't seen no soap either.
I've never
okay,
you know
what?
in the kitchen.
I didn't even
you know what though? There are books and resources for this.
You know how
like
you know hands before cooking, or even if you have like some type of meat, you're supposed to rinse that meat off. I've never seen Chantel do that.
She probably coughs up bigger hairballs than her fucking.
Chantel needs one of those adulting books, or like, no, there's really like, you know, for some people they weren't necessarily raised with parents that taught them the right thing, or you know, people are in unfortunate situations, and you know, I've seen like forums where people were like, you know, and you know, women embarrassed, you know, my mom didn't teach me XYZ, and that's heartbreaking. That's sad, and I'm sure that's embarrassing for them. But they go out of their way to start to
accommodate her.
Right. Yeah. They start making routines for themselves and stuff like that or whatever, even as adults, and you know, trying to figure it out. Chantel is just fine with being just a dirty and I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm being objectively.
You're not mean.
Honest.
You're being honest. You're being honest. You're being objectively honest.
You are just like you're
There's
like
nothing
a
wrong with
grown
the truth.
ass. You're like a grown ass pig pen and less cute. I don't understand that.
He may as well live in the landfill.
Not Pigpen.
No, but not even like she really listen. Pigpen had some dust around him. She got fruit flies. Did you not see that video just saying a fruit fly crawling up on it, like the fruit fly was getting intimate with her, like the fruit fly was fine with it.
Yeah,
like
Chantel them probably ate a few of them fruit flies.
But those
she sucked down a few and
she's got worms. I think she's got worms.
Flies. Who in the hell have flies? When do
possibly
flies fly around in
I mean, she might because she doesn't wipe and she doesn't even bathe regularly. And like this is a person that said, "Oh, the soap goes down to your legs, girl. If you don't get a footstool from Target somewhere and you know scrub your legs down."
Also, that's why she keep like vaginal infections because she don't know how to wipe properly.
She don't wipe,
and that's why she flexes with the Vagisil. She thinks we all carry big things of Vagisil.
No, we don't.
Our boyfriend or whatever. That's not how that works. That's not how any of this works. What we do is we wash properly. And if your kitty is clean properly, all you need is warm water. Actually, to tell you the truth.
Exactly.
That's all you're supposed to use. All you're supposed to use is water.
It is a self-cleaning organ. And it's a self-cleaning organ. If something happens, I'll say. People get infections all the time. I'm one of those people, if I go to the beach, if I am not taking off my bottoms the moment I exit the ocean, it's a wrap. Because my body is just more sensitive than it happens. Right. Whatever. You take care of it. You take care of it, and boom, you're done. But if you are constantly, if your underwear looks like what Nader showed, you have a problem. Like something is wrong there. And I urge anybody, if you see that, you need to go to your doctor because you have a bad infection. Not just an infection, but It shouldn't look like that.
That looked like.
Can you
That
remember when she got that 100 weight of
looks like
wipes
that
from
her snack
Amazon? She
smells
got
like
like
ricotta.
boxes and boxes of wipes from Amazon, and then she was complaining that once she'd used the said wipes on her dirty arse, she complained that it felt damp afterwards. As in, I went, Chantel, that's called being clean. That's called being clean after you've used the wipes. I mean,
she's too fucking big to be using wipes for anything except for removing her makeup.
Well,
when it comes to her
it's something we use in an emergency. Yeah,
she sleeps in her makeup.
Mm-hmm.
I posted several times on her chats that I would pay her just let me bathe her just once, just so I could just so I know she's clean. So I know she's clean. I'll clean up her room and her sheets. I'll be like, okay, now I can leave and I can watch my Chantel in peace and actually not be cringing all the time because I have OCD and it just freaking makes me itchy just watching her.
Honey, you are a better one than me because never could I.
I don't even want to know what she smells like. Honestly, that's just I would not go near her.
The sad part is she doesn't even know what it's like to get up and take a shower every day, exfoliate her body, and just like honestly, isn't that the best part? One of the best parts of your day when you like at the end of the day you take a shower, like I know when I change my linen, I always spray this linen spray.
Me too.
You know, it feels so right. It feels it's like a treat. It feels so nice. And
it does.
You understand how good it feels for your body to be clean. Your body slide against your sheets.
I've always said that Chantel needs one of those Silkwood showers. You know, the film Silkwood, where they have to scrub you with brushes and that if you get too much radiation sickness before you get radiation sickness. She needs one of those showers where people are hosing you down with full hazmat suits on and a big yard brush going up and down your backbone. That's what she needs.
I agree.
That's the best exfoliation she could get.
Put her in a kiddie pool in the backyard and hose her down.
A Silkwood shower, yeah.
She might need it with all this dirt and trash she has in there. There's guaranteed to be mold and spores and stuff, and we know there are bugs, and the bugs lay eggs and everything, so it's all just...
Stop it.
But imagine I come home from work and I take a shower and I sit in a clean room that like my room's not spotless. There's stuff on the floor, but like it's not to the point where you can't even walk to your door or open the door all the way.
Yeah.
Like,
you would think the level of filth that she lives in, she's got to be as miserable as she is every damn day. She should be ranting and raving every fucking day. If I lived in the Canadian landfill, I would be as well.
It can really mess with your like head to live in such a dirty place all the time. And when you actually have a clean, organized place to live in, it can help with your depression and help you feel more of a person than just existing there. And they're just existing. I can't imagine what James is doing, like sitting around at home all day doing nothing, not talking to anyone but his roommate and a phone.
I think a good clean house and a tidy organization is good for you mentally as well.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I always say,
don't get me wrong. It would even do wonders for her kittens. Her kittens would enjoy the fucking cleanness.
Yeah.
Exactly. My cat loves when I clean my floors.
My underwear drawer is tidy.
Yeah, my cat, like I use purple Febreze, or not Febreze, Fabuloso.
Fabuloso.
I love the way it smells. And my cat's such an asshole. He always waits until like the second before it's completely dry, and he'll go lay in the middle, and so he runs around smelling like purple Fabuloso for like 3 days. But
but I bet your cat is clean as well.
My cat is, and he's very picky. And like even after he eats, you know where he goes? He goes directly to my bed because he knows that's his last stop for the night, takes his bath so he doesn't go anywhere else and get his little paws dirty in his mind. And he settles in and, and the nice clean, like even when I change my sheets, I don't know what it is about cats, and when you change your sheets, they love it. He's
Dogs.
like hopping all over the bed, and he loves it.
roll
But
around in it.
even when I clean his little area in my living room,
Mm-hmm.
it's where one of his beds are, his toys and stuff, like, he loves it, and he'll end up playing in that space for a while.
That's right. I mean, we always have dogs, and people may think I'm crazy, but I always clean. We have wet wipes. Always clean my dog's arse and tuppence and paws because
Yeah,
they
that's
are
what I
the
did
brain of
too.
the
Me,
house.
I
Yeah.
do that same thing.
So they go
every time I
everywhere, and
out
A
to
lot of
so they
pets
don't.
have allergies, so doing that can really help them, especially dogs. A lot of
Yeah.
bully breeds and pits have allergies, and people
Right.
don't realize it. And just wiping their feet off when they come in from outside can help them a lot. And please clean your pet bowls. She doesn't clean her pet's bowls. She feeds them in the same dirty
Yeah.
bowls with crusted food on it.
Please clean your pet
Oh my
bowls,
gosh.
the food and the water
I
bowl, because
clean
the
They're
mine
two
living
after
things
things
as
I
well.
with
like,
hot
and
soapy
after I
water.
clean, after they eat too, especially if he
Yeah.
has wet food. I take the bowl and I wash it like I wash anything else. I have a
out.
sponge
Yeah.
for like my stuff,
Yeah.
like the human stuff, and then I have a sponge that I use for his. And I wash it out, dry it, and then put it back because I don't want even any remnants of food or even the smell of it,
All that
because
crusty.
that attracts bugs. That's disgusting.
And
That's
I just
that's
saw
so
someone in
gross.
the chat mention it, but she doesn't clean her cat's litter like ever. We already know this.
Yeah.
But if your cat's litter box is dirty, they are going to go somewhere else.
They're
They're
gonna
gonna shit
They're
somewhere.
going to
Like,
pee on those rugs or on her bed.
clean it.
Or on her clothes, her pile of
Yeah,
clothes.
she has piles of clothes everywhere.
Or on the stairs like they do.
Dog, he's
I
so
bet there's dried poo somewhere in those clothes, and I'm not even being funny, because cats
Probably.
do not like nasty litter boxes. They do
Hey,
not tolerate
No,
that
not
very
at
well.
all.
Oh no, they don't. As soon as I would clean my cat's litter box, whenever I used to have one, I used to own 3 cats always. Nope, I would always own 3 cats, and I would own about at least 2 litter boxes.
Yeah.
For the cats, and I would clean them every day, 2 times a day, maybe sometimes even 3, depending on how many times they pooped during the day. And as soon as I would clean them, they would go straight to them and go pee again. And
right.
I would
That's
I would literally brush it over again, and then I would be like, okay, well, if you're gonna go poop now, because I'm not cleaning it anyway, so no matter.
My cat barely had to hit the litter before he looks at me like, go clean that.
Like, my dog, he's totally different. He can go and eat and he will drink his water. But as soon as he's done, he comes in my room on my carpet, because the bedrooms only have carpet. And he wipes his mouth all over, like he rubs his mouth all over my carpet because he don't want his mouth wet.
My dog does the same thing, Girl Connects.
I wish those cats had a better owner, and honestly, especially BBJ, the way Chantal treats that cat. One of the really big things that bother me, even more than Pete's being an asshole, but the way she keeps that food on the counter and then makes BBJ has to jump to the chair, and then from the chair to she could break a hip or anything. She's old. I'm not being funny or anything. She's far before.
That's true.
Like, why would you do that?
I have learned that she loves Sam a lot more than she loves BBJ.
I think she's waiting on BBJ's demise.
Yeah, because if BBJ passes away, she can actually justify just having Sam and basically making Sam basically feeding him until he basically can't move.
Exactly.
Nah, I think she's gonna pawn Sam off on Pete's. I really do.
I mean, she talked about finding a home for Pete's and the cats. Like, they're just disposable. Like, how can you talk about a person like
she
that?
She talks to them like they're a furniture set. They're a bedroom set that you're trying to get rid of. I'm like, what the hell?
She tried to send Pete to the projects in Toronto or something. Like
they're gonna auction them off.
Like, they aren't your property. Why? That's like so strange.
I'm stuck on you wanting your privacy. I understand you're footing the cost at the villa, but his credit is on the villa. So how in the hell could you possibly even entertain the thought of him leaving, you putting him out for your privacy? If he goes, then take your clothes, Take yourself, take your fucking credit, take your name, take all your shit with you.
Period.
Don't
I want to see what's
leave
going to happen with that inspection or that the change of
baby.
the air conditioner, because Peace can get in trouble for that. That house is disgusting. And you don't think those people are going to report that back to management? So what? Yeah, I think they're doing some maintenance to it, but she said they might have to come inside the house. And before she's like, I'm going to make sure it's clean. I'm going to make sure it's clean. And now she's like, well, you know, they may just say it's a little bit messy. Honey, there's a difference between messy and filth. And if they report that to the building management, that's going to be a problem. And that's going to be on Peace.
At this point, there's no saving that house. There's no cleaning it. You would have to take a blowtorch and blowtorch that shit.
Yeah, I have to pour some gasoline and throw a match and walk the hell away.
They're gonna rip that place apart when they leave. It's disgusting.
Imagine the of that fucking place. You can look at it and almost imagine what it smells like, just based on what it looks like. It's got to be disgusting.
That's why I wonder if they have an infestation, and maybe it's just not immediately in their apartment or villa because they have cats. But what if the neighbors all have rodents and things running around?
Yeah, because of your filth.
Like, oh my god!
And you're claiming bed bug bites from the Star One, the cheap hotels or whatever that you and Nader or rendezvousing in. No, you got them bites at home, baby.
I would not be surprised if she has scabies in her beds.
Bugs to that damn hotel, but you got them bites at home. It's filled. It's just pure filth. It's unadulterated, unexplanatory. There's no reason why either of you should be living in the conditions in which you're living, which are deplorable. Somebody needs to.
I wish I had the amount of free time she does just sitting around doing nothing to take care of my house and my pets and be able to afford all the things that she just throws out.
You know, if Chantel didn't have money, she would be considered a squatter in that villa.
She's been counseling freshly for over a year, right? And she's still getting it.
Is she still getting it?
And letting it go on rot.
A waste of food.
Oh, are you talking about HelloFresh? Oh yeah, she's been getting that, and then she wanted ass packs because she cooked too much.
Fisting fucking nashies down your throat 4 at a time. Come on now.
Oh my god, seeing her eat those burgers and stuff it's
cringy.
It just looks uncomfortable. She's not really chewing. She's
not chewing at all. She's basically guzzling it down like a damn alligator. Like
inhaling that, not even chewing.
It's like some people eat when they're bored. They'll like snack on something. But she just does that all the time, and she's not even just snacking. She's eating full meals. Because I think it was last night I watched a video, or I saw someone else's video of her eating an entire pizza or something, and then she ate cereal, like 2 or 3 bowls of cereal with
heavy cream. With heavy cream.
How you eat?
I
don't know.
Oh my god!
Cream and cornflakes.
It's like you're clearly not enjoying the food. You can't taste it. But she's just constantly saying, "I'm hungry. I'm hungry."
Oh my god, that was so bad.
I've only ever had cream on it wasn't cornflakes. It was actually Swiss muesli when I was on holiday in Switzerland. I had that because it was a very special occasion, only once. But you're telling me she put cream on her cereal?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh my god!
I heard putting like a bit of cream in oatmeal or something like that, but cereal?
Yeah, she was just eating herself a big old bowl of Special K with like a big old helping thing of cream. I'm like, okay.
So you eat it, which is good, but you got cream in it, which is bad for you. Got all kind of cholesterol and everything else. Girl, what is it? Is you got like natural ginger over there busted good.
Her connection, she cured her diabetes, so I'm she pretty good on everything else.
I can't imagine.
I heard she cured the diabetes.
Like, how do you not get physically sick after eating pizza and cereal with heavy cream. Her stomach.
She was. She went to the restroom and she came right back and just kept eating the cereal.
She did come back and keep eating.
Yeah, she went to the restroom. She came right back after 5 minutes eating the cereal. I'm like, I was just looking at it like amazed, like.
But she's full. Oh, I'm so
yep.
If I'm full,
she's not that hungry.
I'm not gonna touch it anymore. Whatever's left is trashed or whatever, unless it can be served. But she's full, but yet you're still fucking eating.
She obviously needed it. She needed the nourishment.
You filled up your first stomach, and now you're working on the second.
Oh yeah, and she was drinking sodas the whole time. Oh my gosh.
She cured her diabetes. She has cured her diabetes. She is a clean bill of health. That's why she's doing this.
God, she gives people
cereal and heavy cream. You get the electric chair. Do not pass go. Do not press 200. That's disgusting.
Straight to the fucking chair.
So she's been live for, I think, 20 minutes now. So I might just go over there. We can wrap up maybe in the next minute or two.
Okay, well, goodbye, everyone.
She's
Y'all
off
have a
live
good night.
now? Wait a second.
I'm
She's
actually
off
headed
live now.
out to actually take a walk and get some fresh air and not be Chantal for the rest of the afternoon and do some cleaning at the apartment. So everybody, have a great rest of your day, and please just don't be like Chantal. And I know the bar's low, but have a great rest of your day, everyone.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Everyone. Thanks for being on panel. Appreciate every one of you taking time out of your day on a Saturday to talk. I just realized that you're welcome thank you for being here. I just realized that she's actually off of live. I don't know. I guess she's gonna be back. So I'm gonna still review it and see what she says. And if she comes back in time, she comes back. If not, we'll have a short live. But thanks once again, Internet Tea, Color Connections, Mino.
Bye.
Thank you.
TG, Little Trash Panda, Natural Ginger, Tasha.
Thank you.
And everybody else.
Thank you for letting me come on.
You're welcome. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
See you
Bye-bye.
guys.
Bye.